Welcome to the Deep Dive, where we take complex narratives, stack up your sources articles, research our own notes, and really pull out the most important nuggets of knowledge and insight.
Absolutely.
Today, we're plunging headfirst into a world where martial arts prowess doesn't just dictate destiny, but reshapes it, often violently. Loyalties shift like, well, desert sands, and a sword art so powerful it promises ultimate supremacy comes with a true cost beyond imagining.
Yeah, a cost that reshapes not just the body, but the soul itself.
Exactly.
You've given us a truly fascinating collection of accounts here from a really turbulent period in the martial world. Our mission in this deep dive is basically to unpack the intricate power plays, the frankly unsettling moral compromises, and the shocking secrets that lie just beneath the surface. We're going to explore what happens when raw ambition clashes head on with the very real, often horrific human cost. Get ready, because this is a deep dive that I think will leave you questioning everything you thought you knew about honor and power in this martial realm.
Absolutely. Today, we're zeroing in on a pivotal moment. The formation of the Five Peaks Alliance and the intense, often pretty brutal, struggle for its leadership.
Right.
But as you'll quickly discover, this isn't just about who holds the reins of power. It's about how they seize it and the hidden, often gruesome sacrifices they make along the way. We're going to follow the intertwined fates of several key figures, an eccentric, utterly chaotic group of so-called immortals, a seemingly noble master whose hidden agenda just consumes him, a conflicted hero caught between his ideals and devastating realities, and a vengeful young man whose path is just paved with blood.
Yeah, and they're all drawn into this web woven around a legendary and frankly terrifying sword manual.
It's a classic wuxia tale of ambition, sure, but with layers of deception and personal tragedy that make it truly unique.
Indeed, it really exposes the underbelly of what we often perceive as the righteous martial world, doesn't it?
It really does. Let's kick things off by setting the stage with this newly formed Five Peaks Alliance. You see, the stated goal was grand, almost utopian, you could say.
Oh, definitely.
A grand merger of five powerful sword sects: Songshan, Taishan, Huashan, Hengshan, and Hengshan. The idea was to unify them, reduce the constant infighting that had plagued the martial world for generations, and foster a new era of harmony.
Sounds great on paper.
Right. On paper, it sounded like a perfect solution to centuries of conflict.
That's right. The ambition was to create a unified front, to bring stability where there had only been fragmentation and rivalry. However, the immediate glaring challenge, and the one that quickly exposed the true motivations lurking beneath the surface, was electing a supreme leader for this newly forged alliance.
Ah, yes, the leadership question.
Exactly. This is precisely where the politicking, the underhanded maneuvers, and the inevitable clashes began. It was never just about shared ideals. It was always ultimately about who would wield the ultimate authority and how far they were willing to go to get it.
And speaking of clashes, enter our first set of truly unconventional players, the Peach Valley Six Immortals.
Oh boy, these guys.
What? Right. Imagine a group that is utterly chaotic, constantly arguing amongst themselves with bizarre logic, yet surprisingly astute when it comes to spotting logical flaws and inconsistencies in others' arguments.
It's quite the combination.
They're rarely taken seriously by the established masters, often dismissed as madmen, but their relentless collective verbal assault can be devastatingly effective. They're like a pack of very smart, very annoying jackals invited to a peace summit, ready to pounce on any weakness.
Their entry into the debate was certainly memorable and strategically brilliant in its own chaotic way. Initially, they proposed the revered Shaolin abbot, Fang Zheng, as the supreme leader.
A respectable choice on the surface.
Very. Fang Zheng is renowned across the martial world, not just for his unparalleled virtue, but for his mastery of the profound Shaolin arts. This move, while seemingly virtuous, immediately put the spotlight on Fang Zheng's universally acknowledged goodness and martial prowess.
Okay.
Then, in a bizarre, almost conical twist, they suggested merging Shaolin, the venerable Buddhist monastery, into the Five Peaks just to accommodate him.
Wait, merge Shaolin?
Yeah.
Seriously?
Seriously. This tactic, though absurd, brilliantly highlighted Fang Zheng's unimpeachable character, and in doing so, it threw the existing power structures, particularly those vying for the position like Zhuo Langtran, into immediate disarray. It was a chaotic, yet subtly brilliant disruption. It forced everyone to reconsider their assumptions about leadership.
Wow. And they didn't stop there, did they? Their confrontation with Yu Jizi of the Taishan sect was a masterclass in psychological warfare.
Oh, absolutely.
The Immortals provoked him mercilessly by accusing him of secretly wishing to restore the old Taishan sect, implying disloyalty to this brand new alliance even before it had truly begun.
They just twisted his words, didn't they?
Completely. They twisted his words with such skill that he found himself cornered. This, understandably, infuriated Yujizi, leaving him politically isolated, his reputation under fire, and even frustrating Zhuo Lingshan, the very host of the event.
Yeah, Zhuo Lingshan clearly had his own designs on leadership and saw his plans being undermined by these, unpredictable agents of chaos. It was almost surgical in its precision. The Immortals, for all their bumbling appearance, possessed this collective, albeit disordered, brilliance for exposing hypocrisy. This verbal cornering of Yujizi quickly escalated into physical violence.
It got physical.
Oh, yeah. Yujizi, enraged and humiliated by their accusations, attacked the Immortals in a desperate attempt to salvage his dignity. But these seemingly bumbling figures swiftly overpowered him, grabbing his limbs with terrifying efficiency, intent on literally tearing him apart.
Tearing him apart. Good grief.
Yeah, the scene, as described in the sources, was one of escalating horror, with the crowd just aghast.
Here's where it gets really interesting and quite brutal. Zhuo Lingshan, as the host and a figure of immense authority, felt compelled to intervene to prevent a full-blown massacre.
Okay, so he steps in.
But his intervention wasn't a simple rescue. Instead of merely incapacitating the Immortals, he surgically severed Yujizi's hands and a foot.
He what? Severed his hands and...
Yes. He did this, the sources suggest, to prevent the Immortals from tearing him into 4 pieces, a gruesome, drawn-out death. It was a brutal, pragmatic act, showcasing Zhuo Lingshan's ruthless efficiency, utterly cold-blooded nature.
Wow.
He didn't save Yujizi whole, he dismembered him to prevent a worse fate, asserting his control and martial superiority in a terrifying way. This wasn't just pragmatism, it was a chilling, public declaration of his willingness to cross moral lines right at the start.
Setting a brutal tone, for sure. And this is where the Immortals' true cunning shone through. Immediately after Zhuo Lingshan's brutal intervention, they masterfully turned on him.
Of course they did.
With incredible audacity, they blamed him entirely for the mutilation, claiming they were just playing and that he acted ignorantly, unjustly, unwisely, and cowardly.
Just playing. After trying to tear him apart.
Exactly. It was a shocking public shaming that effectively tarnished Zhuo Lingshan's image right at the outset. Brilliant gaslighting, really, shifting the blame entirely onto the one who had, in his own twisted way, attempted a rescue.
And the crowd bought it.
It seems so, or at least they were confused enough. It further isolated Zhuo Lingshan and painted him as a villain even when attempting to act decisively.
Crazy. Amidst all this chaos, Ling Huchang, who was observing as an outsider, had a crucial insight. He suspected that the Immortals' surprisingly sharp rhetoric, their ability to hit Zhuo Lingshan where it hurt, wasn't entirely their own chaotic brilliance. He believed it was being subtly guided by an unknown intelligent force.
Ah, okay, so there's maybe something else going on behind the scenes.
Exactly. This observation sets up a deeper mystery for you, our listener, suggesting there are unseen hands pulling strings, manipulating events, turning even chaos into a calculated tool.
And that leads us directly into the heart of the leadership battle, the sword fight to win the commander proposal.
Right, cut through the talk.
Tired of the endless, chaotic debate and the political maneuvering, it was the Peach Valley Immortals themselves who, perhaps inspired by that unseen influence, proposed a direct contest of skill. The best swordsman, they argued, should become the leader.
And a crowd loved it, I bet.
Predictably, yes. Eager for action and weary of political posturing, they enthusiastically embraced this idea, turning what was a formal ceremony into a martial spectacle. A true test of prowess rather than rhetoric.
And in a truly selfless act, Ling Huchang, despite being nominated by the Immortals again, likely due to that unseen influence he suspected, immediately stepped forward.
But not for himself, right?
No, not for himself. Instead, he nominated his own master, Yu Buquan. He lavished praise on him, highlighting his gentleman's sword reputation, his martial prowess, his integrity.
Classic Ling Huchang, loyal to a fault.
Exactly. It highlights his traditional values, his deep loyalty, his humility, especially compared to the ambition and ruthlessness we see in Zhuo Lingshan. It was a powerful, almost naive display of respect.
Yu Buquan, ever the gentleman's sword in public, accepted the duel concept, but with rules designed to project benevolence. He stressed stopping at the point of victory to avoid injury.
Seems reasonable.
And decreed only 5 Peaks members could compete. But then, the truly unexpected happened. Yu Linglong, Yu Buquan's own daughter, stepped up.
His daughter.
Okay.
And her bold claim. that her father had mastered all 5 peaks sword styles, and she could demonstrate them flawlessly.
All 5. That's basically impossible, isn't it?
That's what everyone thought.
Yeah.
Such comprehensive mastery was considered utterly impossible. It completely disrupted the established hierarchy, planting seeds of doubt and awe.
So did she back it up?
She did, with a series of bewildering duels. First, against Taishan's Yu Yinzi and Yukizi, 2 veteran masters.
Okay.
She used high-level Taishan techniques, including the incredibly complex Daizong Ruhi, which involves instant calculations of everything, opponent's position, weapons, sunlight angle.
Wow, that sounds intense.
It is. But what was truly astonishing was how she then modified other known Taishan moves, Wudafu Sword, Alehi King Quan, things like that, with subtle, surprising changes that completely defeated both seasoned masters.
How? How did she modify them?
That was the mystery. They simply couldn't comprehend how their own styles were being turned against them, augmented with these unseen refinements. The crowd was stunned. Okay, so Taishan down. Who was next?
Then, against Hangshan's Mo Da, a truly formidable master, she employed extremely rare and powerful Hangshan techniques. These one move encompasses a whole style methods.
Like a condensed version of the style?
Kind of. Forms like Quan Ming Fu Rong and He Shangzi Gai were unleashed with such precision and power that Mo Da, despite his vast experience, was basically forced to retreat. A clear sign of her overwhelming skill. The martial world was captivated and deeply confused.
This is incredible, but the most emotionally charged duel must have been against Ling Huchang, right? Her former senior brother.
Oh, absolutely. It began innocently enough with true Hengshan forms, but quickly they fell into their unique, jointly created Chongling swordplay from their youth.
Something they made up together.
Yeah, it was fun, intimate, a reflection of their deep bond. They even performed their signature Tongshin Gongxi, or Live and Die Together, move, a dangerous simultaneous thrust that, remarkably, ended with their swords bending and deflecting, a testament to their shared past.
A nice moment then.
A beautiful, almost dreamlike sequence. But then, a crucial turn. Lin Pingzi's cold laugh cut through the moment.
Lin Pingzi. Why was he laughing?
It's not entirely clear why then, but it was harsh, jarring, and it snapped Yu Linglong back to reality. Instantly, she shifted to the ruthless Huashan Jade Maiden sword techniques.
So, from playful to serious.
Deadly serious. Aggressive, abandoning their shared past for something severe. A stark reminder of the new, unsettling loyalties at play.
And this is where Ling Huchang makes that sacrifice.
This is it. Distracted by memories, wanting to preserve her honor, he accidentally disarmed her, made it look like a mishap.
Accidentally.
Right. Then, in an act of deep, selfless love, he intentionally impaled himself on her returning sword, making it appear to everyone that she had decisively defeated him.
He let himself be stabbed, just so she would win.
Yes, suffered a severe injury, sacrificed his reputation, his well-being, just to make her look good and secure her father's path to leadership. It's heartbreaking, really, testament to his loyalty.
Unbelievable.
And it was amidst this chaos and sacrifice that he had another critical realization about the source of her power.
What was it?
He recognized the modified techniques she used were identical to the mysterious sword carvings he'd discovered in that secret cave on Huashan's thought-pondering cliff, a place he thought only he knew about.
The cave. So that's where the techniques came from.
It seems so, which raises huge questions. How did she find it? Who else knew? And what do these powerful unknown techniques really mean?
This brings us to the final showdown then. Yu Buquan versus Zhuo Lengshen. The climax.
Exactly. With Yu Linglong's impressive, though now we suspect deceptive, wins, the beggar's sect leader formally advocated for Yu Buquan. Public opinion was swinging his way.
The stage was set.
Zhuo Lengshen, however, wasn't backing down. He directly challenged Yu Linglong. Defeat him with Songshan swordplay in exactly 13 moves, a specific, daunting challenge.
13 moves. Precise.
In his show-off, he made his sword leap from its sheath with just a thought, a real display of internal power. Very intimidating.
So did she do it? The 13 moves.
Flawlessly. She executed 13 moves of Songshan swordplay, starting respectfully, but then using complex, unseen techniques that baffled even Zhuo Lengshen, a master of his own sect.
Baffled the Songshan master with Songshan moves.
Yes. He allowed her to finish, studying the mysterious moves that defied his understanding of his own style. A profound intellectual victory, it seemed.
But the real shock was still coming, wasn't it? Yu Buquan's move.
Oh, yes. The shocking truth of Yu Buquan's victory over Zhuo Lengshen. After Yu Linglong's performance, Yu Buquan, seemingly unarmed, humble, stepped forward and revealed his true mastery.
Wow.
In a lightning-fast, almost invisible technique, he swiftly and brutally blinded Zhuo Lengchen.
Blinded him, just like that.
Just like that. The speed, the precision, it was bewildering. Akin to Dongfang Bubai's legendary needle attacks, infamous for power achieved through forbidden, unnatural means.
Dongfang Bubai.
Yeah.
That's a serious comparison.
It is. This was the horrifying reveal. Yu Buquan, the gentleman's sword, had secretly learned this terrifying skill, utterly at odds with his public persona. It shattered the illusion instantly.
What happened to Zhuo Lengchen?
His end was tragic. Blinded, enraged, thrashing wildly with his sword, he accidentally killed 2 of his own disciples who rushed to help him.
Oh no.
Horrifying. Showcase the destructive chaos of unbridled power when reason is lost, a visceral demonstration of ambition's dark side.
And Yu Buquan just takes over.
Like the master manipulator he is. Assumed leadership, but with a veneer of magnanimity. He appointed the now blind Zhuo Lengchen and his remaining loyalists to jointly manage Songshan.
Seems merciful, but really just consolidated control.
Exactly. Solidified his control while appearing benevolent. A chilling display of calculation.
But Ling Huzhan saw it for what it was.
He did. Witnessing his master's ruthless victory, realizing the horrific nature of the art used, a profound shift occurred. He was filled with this unsettling hatred, revulsion, comparing Yu Buquan to Dongfang Bubai.
The image of the gentleman's sword completely shattered.
Utterly. Replaced by a monstrous, calculating figure, a devastating blow for Ling Huzhan.
That brings us to the next dark chapter. The cycle of vengeance and the path of the evil warding sword.
Right. As Ling Huzhan recovered, cared for by Ying Ying, the Hengshan disciples, and even the Peach Valley immortals, surprisingly, Lin Pingzi began his systematic, brutal revenge against Yu Kanghai and Mu Gaofeng.
The ones who destroyed his family.
Precisely. And the evil warding sword was showcased in terrifying action. Lin Pingzi displayed its chilling speed and unpredictability.
How fast are we talking?
He ambushed Yu Kanghai, killed a disciple mid-sentence, so fast, so strained, onlookers could barely comprehend it. His movements were too unorthodox, like he was moving through a different dimension, virtually impossible to predict or block.
Wow.
And in a particularly brutal display at Ying Ying's subtle direction, mind you, the Peach Valley Immortals shredded Yu Kanghai's horse.
The immortals shredded a horse. Why?
Sheer power demonstration. To intimidate the Qingcheng disciples, and maybe buy time for Ling Luchang to really see what Lin Pingzi had become. Crude, but effective.
But Lin Pingzi himself. His cruelty sounds calculated.
Chillingly so. He didn't just kill, he tortured. Maimed Yu Kanghai, blinded him, severed his arms, then left him alive to suffer and witness the slaughter of his followers.
It's just
sadistic, maximizing psychological agony. His revenge was cold, precise, utterly merciless. He killed Mu Gaofeng similarly, revealing a hidden poison bladder in the camel's hump, spraying him, reveling in torment.
A complete transformation.
And all of this deeply unsettled Ling Huzhan. He recognized the unparalleled, almost supernatural speed of Lin Pingzi's sword and felt this profound foreboding. He even began to doubt his own Dugu Nine Sword's ability to counter it.
Doubted Dugu Nine Swords, the ultimate counterstyle.
Exactly. For him to doubt his mastery shows just how unnatural, how terrifying the evil warding sword's power really was. It suggested a fundamental shift in martial arts power dynamics.
This leads to some really dark personal revelations too, doesn't it? About Lin Pingzi and Yu Linglong's marriage.
Yeah, perhaps the more shocking part. Yu Linglong later confessed their marriage was never consummated.
Never, why not? He constantly suspected her and her father of trying to steal the evil warding sword manual. Consumed by paranoia, distrust, any chance of intimacy was gone. A hollow, tragic facade.
So sad.
And then came the truly shocking prerequisite for the sword's power. Lin Pingzi chillingly confessed the ultimate price. Self-castration.
Wait, what?
With chilling bluntness. Martial arts supremacy, swing swords self-castrate. He explained it was necessary to prevent sexual desire leading to madness during cultivation.
Oh my God, that's the secret.
That's the horrifying secret, the ultimate sacrifice, the defilement of one's own body underpinning the terrifying power. The sheer bluntness is just staggering.
And Yu Linglong realizes her father.
Exactly. The horror dawns on her. Her father, the gentleman's sword, must have done the same. Lin Pingzi confirmed it. Described how Yu Buquan's voice got high-pitched, his beard fell out.
He glued his beard back on.
Glued it back on, a grotesque detail underscoring the deception, and how he constantly monitored Lin Pingzi, checking if he had also done it.
This gets worse.
Oh, it does. Lin Pingzi exposed the full extent of Yu Buquan's depravity. He didn't just steal the manual, he found it on an unconscious Ling Hu Chang, who'd actually retrieved it from thieves.
So Ling Hu Chong had the manual.
Briefly, unknowingly perhaps. Then Yu Buquan found it on him and framed him for the theft to cover his own tracks, his own secret practice of the forbidden art.
Framed Ling Hu Chong after everything.
Shattered any remaining illusion of Yu Buquan's honor, transformed him from noble master to calculating villain, sacrificing his most loyal disciple for power.
And Yu Linglong's mother, Yu Furen, she knew.
She emerges as this tragic figure of foresight. She knew her husband's secret, saw the physical changes, suspected he was practicing the evil warding sword.
Did she try to stop him?
She bravely tried to persuade him to stop, even return the manual, recognized its destructive nature, lamented his dissent. She was the only one who truly understood Ling Hu Chang's innocence, tried to defend him against Yu Buquan's lies. Her struggle highlights the moral decay.
So the whole gentleman's sword thing was just a lie.
Utterly shattered, revealed as a man consumed by ambition, willing to sacrifice his body, his honor, his adopted son, all for ultimate power, a monstrous manipulator.
This whole saga leaves us with some profound consequences, doesn't it? And these lingering shadows.
Definitely. Take Yu Linglong. Despite Lin Pingzi's coldness, his abuse, the horrifying truth, she remains fiercely, tragically loyal.
Still loyal after all that.
Willing to stay by his side even as he abuses her and plans to expose her father. It's misguided, heartbreaking devotion, maybe a desperate attempt to find meaning.
Wow.
And the evil warding sword itself becomes this potent symbol for power that just utterly corrupts.
Grants power, but destroys humanity.
Exactly. Unparalleled martial prowess, yes, but it demands a complete surrender of humanity. Leads to cruelty, paranoia, isolation. A Faustian bargain where the soul is the price and the victory is hollow, leaving the wielder utterly alone.
A chilling warning. But in stark contrast, you have Ling Hu Chong.
Yes. Compared to Yu Buquan and Lin Pingzi, he consistently chooses compassion, loyalty over power. He still worries about Yu Linglong's safety, even knowing her nature and his master's deception.
His moral compass stays true.
It does. Unlike so many others, it remains pointed toward goodness, human connection, despite the pain and betrayal. He represents a different kind of heroism.
And then there's Ying.
Ah, Ying Ying. Her love for Ling Hu Chang is shown to be selfless, profound, a real beacon of light.
How so?
She supports him through everything, physical pain, emotional turmoil, and remarkably, she understands his lingering feelings for Yu Linglong without resentment or jealousy. She even helps him protect Yu Linglong.
Helps protect her rival.
Yes, it shows a different kind of strength, untainted by selfish power grabs. Their tender moments offer this quiet, powerful counterpoint to all the surrounding darkness and ambition, underscores the power of genuine connection.
So Ling Hu Chong is left with this heavy burden.
Immense. The devastating realization about his master, the destructive nature of the evil warding sword. He knows he needs to find a way to counter it, even if it means confronting those he once loved and respected.
His path forward is incredibly complex.
Absolutely. Marked by difficult choices, shattered ideals, a heavy heart, his story becomes a testament to enduring integrity in a world trying to corrupt it.
This deep dive has really shown us how the quest for power can twist even seemingly upright individuals. Shocking sacrifices, devastating betrayals.
Yeah, we've witnessed the horrifying personal cost of the evil warding sword, a path promising supremacy but delivering emptiness, corruption, isolation. A stark reminder that some victories come at an unthinkable price, leaving the victor with nothing but power.
Absolutely. And in these narratives, true character isn't revealed in victory, is it? It's revealed in the agonizing choices made when faced with that lure of absolute strength.
It really is. It's a testament to the idea that power doesn't just corrupt. It can strip away everything that makes us human, leaving this monstrous void.
So, consider this then. In a world where the lines between hero and villain blur, and even supposedly righteous actions hide profound corruption, what truly defines a gentleman or a hero?
Is it about the power you wield or the values you uphold no matter the cost?
A question that resonates long after the swords have been sheathed. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive.